Hi, Fee Tui Win here, and welcome back to another segment of Tea with Fee. In this episode, I want to address a concern that a client of mine shared regarding a video I posted on October 8th with the title, The 4 Steps to Making Great Decisions. And I had promised in an earlier video that I would address his concern, so this is the video that we're going to do it in. If you haven't made yourself your favorite mug of tea, pause the video, go make yourself your cup of tea, come back, snuggle up, relax, and allow us 5 minutes to explore his concern and to receive the lessons that his concern has brought up. So if you have not watched that video, please go back and watch it, as it'll give you information that will help you better understand what it is we're about to share. The concern he had has to do with the third step, which is about letting go of the outcomes of the decision that you make. And when he came in, he was really sweet about it. He said, Fee, I watched your video on the 4 steps to making great decisions, and I have a concern about step number 3, about letting go of the outcomes. Because when you make a decision, you also need to be aware of the people who care for you, the people in your life, and to take that into consideration in the decisions that you make. I have a few things I want to share with regards to his concern. The first is I want to honor him so much for being such a beautiful human being. The fact that he brought that concern up means to me that he's such a caring, such a kind and considerate, loving person, to come from that space to know that our decisions do not impact only ourselves. It impacts the people who love us, who care for us. It impacts the people we love and care for, as well as the people we have responsibilities toward. And so thank you for being such a beautiful human being and being so kind and considerate and loving. The second thing I want to share with his concern is that he is absolutely right. The decisions that we make for ourselves, the decision that I make for myself, absolutely also impacts the people in my life. And so I must take into account their feelings, what my decision will do to them when I make a decision for myself. And of course, we're talking about big, impactful decisions. Within the context of the video, it had to do with evacuating from a hurricane site, which is huge. We're not talking about decisions like, what am I going to have for dinner tonight? So yes, absolutely right about needing to take into account the feelings, the emotions, the experiences of the people who are in our lives that we love and care for and have responsibilities toward. Now, in the context of that situation, my family was very supportive of whatever decision that I was going to make. They were kind of pretty chilled about the situation. They were not putting any pressure and didn't really have big concerns about my safety. And I'm lucky in that my family has a very high degree of trust for my decision-making ability. That does not mean that I don't make mistakes. Believe me, I make plenty of mistakes. In this situation, they had a very high degree of trust for me, and in general, that's true. And so all that was taken into account when I made my decision. Third, I want to use this opportunity to point out the difference between the state of indifference and the state of unattachment or detachment. Indifference is a tool that we use as a defensive mechanism that ends up building a wall to keep us protected and safe from feeling hurt, because we know that in relationships and when we love and care for people, sometimes we do get hurt. And so indifference is a tool that some people use to put up that wall to protect themselves from pain. And that is not the space that we're talking about. We're talking about the space of unattachment or detachment. Now, in the decision-making process, we want to be able to take other people's thoughts, emotions, and concerns into account in the decision-making process, because we want to live as engaged individuals in fully present to the relationships we have. Now, once that decision is made, then